Hello, Mr. Camper Van.
Nothing like getting out on a Saturday morning, getting ready to go to breakfast. It's a clear morning, just beautiful, about 50 degrees, 55 maybe. And getting ready to go see my dad and my brother and have a nice traditional breakfast in southeast Missouri. So here I sit this morning. I am a little better light. I'm sitting here this morning getting ready to go to breakfast for the second to last time with my dad. My brother meets us out there, my youngest brother, and my oldest brother meets us most of the time, and then most of the time I make it. It's Saturday morning, 14 minutes after 6, and I'm just thinking about how in the world all the things in my life, really got started. And when it comes to the Philippines, like, I'm a Midwestern guy. Why am I sitting in Missouri right now thinking about going to the Philippines? And how did that all come about? I think I need to make a video about that. So I'm going to head out. I've got about 15-20 minutes to get out there. I've got plenty of time. But good morning from Missouri. 13 days left. It's a final countdown. So I just got the breakfast over with my dad, and my youngest brother was there, and a friend of ours a friend of my brother's who I have seen every breakfast I've went to since I've been back. He's been there. So yeah, good guy. So I met another guy today. Bought his breakfast. It's just small town in America, country life. That's one thing you don't really see in the Philippines is like people going out to breakfast. Getting the big, biscuits and gravy. Of course, you can't really find that in the Philippines. I haven't found it. You can probably find it somewhere. You can make your own. I don't know. The breakfast is not a big thing in the Philippines, and I love a good breakfast. Get good sausage, good biscuits and gravy, which I'm not eating carbs right now, so that's kind of a different deal. But yeah, I mean, that good old traditional breakfast is pretty good. I kind of miss that when I'm not here. I found myself taking it for granted a little bit. I'm like, it's good. I was just thinking about the fact that I was taking it for granted. I shouldn't do that. You should really learn to enjoy every day. And I more and more as I get older, I just kind of see more of a smile on my face. I try to have a smile on my face more. It's just like the other day I was going into Sam's Club, and the floors are beautiful in Sam's Club. They've got they took out all the tile, which I don't think they ever had at Sam's Club, but they polished the floors, a real high gloss polish, and all their store signage inside is matching, and the shelves are just filled with so much abundance of anything that you could ever want or not even be able to think about. They've got it in there in Sam's Club, and Walmart pretty much the same way. America is a land of abundance. I could talk all the things that I dislike about America, and sometimes we get that way as expats. We're looking to choose different countries and maybe spend my retirement in the Philippines or somewhere else. And so sometimes America, you can find reasons to hate it, but you can also find reasons that it's a blessing in your life too. I mean, just the sheer abundance. You walk into a Walmart or Sam's Club, man, they've got everything. I mean, you walk in the Philippines, and it's not a slam on the Philippines. It's just the way it is. I'm just drawing a contrast is all I'm doing. You go there, and there's a lot of things that are not available. That's their favorite. I kind of smile now. I used to think, oh my gosh, not available. What do you mean not available? I'm not used to that being an American. So, here it's like pretty much you can get something pretty much anywhere. And we were discussing this morning about parts, like some older guys like me sitting around talking about buying parts for a tractor or a side by side or a car. They've pretty much the slow supply chain issues are gone here in the United States. And I wasn't here for the last 8 months before July, so before I left the last time, it was still a big issue. But now it seems like those supply lines have pretty much righted themselves. I bought some parts for a side by side a couple weeks ago. Really wasn't a problem. It took them about a week to get in, 4 or 5 days. Went down, picked them up, got them installed. My side by side's running great, and it's just an old one, but hey, it gets me around and it gets me involved in a little bit of work that I can do. It's got a little dump bed on it. But these supply chain issues have kind of, for a lot of it, have went away in my experience, and everything you hear on this channel, because I'm the only one talking, it's always just my experience. So, feel free to get on there and say, it's not working over here, or it's not working over there. I choose to see the positive. It's not always like that with me. I have a negative bent to my personality. I try not to show that on YouTube, but I'm not like running around down in the dumps all the time. But I struggle with some stuff sometimes. I think that's just part of being a human being. We've seemed like these days, if you have any issues or you have any problems, well, the whole world should shut down for you until you get that problem corrected, or it's going to be somebody else's fault. Well, I just was raised different than that. I pretty much, nobody came out and stated it, but I figured out a long time ago, if I was going to make anything out of my life, it was going to be up to me. And were there going to be obstacles in my life? Well, sure, there's going to be obstacles in my life, but the sooner you learn not to let those obstacles fake you out and think that it can't be done, just think of it as an obstacle. I mean, it's just something to get through. It's just something you don't know yet how to do. It's just something that, you just got to put a little effort, a little ingenuity into it, and you can get through life just fine. And not to say that people don't have major, drastic problems in their life. They do, and I've had a few. I've been through a divorce. That's not an easy thing at all. Relationship with kids after that. But, marrying a new person. But, I didn't let it destroy me, and you have a choice every time you come up with a problem comes into your life. You have a choice on how you want to react. So anyway, so I mean, problems are going to come, but I choose to face life in a positive manner, and I choose to think the best things. I told them at breakfast, you could complain about a lot of things, but it's beautiful weather, about 50 degrees. The air's clear. I'm not hot. I get to wear a jacket. That's kind of nice. You don't ever get to wear a jacket in the Philippines. You could, but you're going to be hot. But, a lot of things are going on. But I told them at breakfast, I said, well, we could be in Gaza this morning. Things would be altogether different, wouldn't they? And all kind of things going on in the world, we can let it get us down. Sometimes I think back to times when I was growing up, and even in high school, and after high school, years after high school, people didn't run around, and like, hey, did you hear that, the PLO, they attacked Israel, and that happened. I mean, I remember stuff like that happening, but everybody didn't run around with their own opinion of it. These things are going to happen. I don't think it's a good thing that anybody's in a war, but wars happen. We do know that. We could wish they didn't, but they're going to happen. People have conflicting ideologies, and it's going to happen. But my point is, you don't have to make it about everything that you do. I mean, you don't have to take on that struggle necessarily yourself. If you want to take on the struggle, just pray for them. If you want to do something that might do some good, just do that. You don't have to try to convince everybody of your opinion, whether it's right or wrong or whatever you think. I guess my point is, like, don't let stuff like that consume you. It's easy to do. The only reason I come with advice like that, because I try to teach myself as much as I would try to encourage somebody else to do that. But I'm really going to try to focus in on my own life and not worry about the things that I'm not required to worry about. I could think everything, I could think all the good arguments, I could study, and I could say, well, Palestinians did this, or if you're on that, well, Israelis did this, and that conflict's been going on longer than I've been alive, and I'm 62 years old, so I'm not likely going to affect it with involving myself in it. So I'm going to try to vow to really keep that kind of stuff, news and politics, out of my life. And hopefully I can just, if I live to 80, I've got 18 years left. If I live to 82, I've got 20. So, we've got precious little time left in this life. We're all going to die. We think we're permanent, but as you get older, you get to our age, you realize that you're not. And so I like to design my life in a way to where I'm going to be happy and I'm going to have the proper attitude and not be caught up in too many things and too many political discussions. And there's a lot of people around here that I could agree with, and we could get in there and we could say, yeah, what they're doing is wrong. But all that stuff, when it's all said and done, not gonna help build your relationships with your family. I've got enough to think about. So anyway, that's kind of just thinking about 13 days left. I got 13 days left till I come back to the Philippines. I just left breakfast and I got to see my dad. He's 85. He lives next year. He's going to be 86. And he's requires a little more care than he used to. So, but I'm thankful that I got to be with him. Thankful I got to be with my brother. And that's the way I'm going to try to focus on this day.